Hey guys, and welcome to the first video of Fitness Fact or Fiction series. Today I wanted to talk about a little bit, quite like a confusing subject to a lot of people. It's the distinctions between strength, stamina, and endurance. So let's define each one of those. Stamina is different from strength, and it's also different from endurance, but there are overlaps, which I'll address as well. Strength is simply how much force you can generate, how much weight you can lift. So that could be 50, 100, 200 pounds, whatever it is, that's how much strength you have. You have the strength to lift that weight. Stamina is how much you can sustain that output of force, meaning if you can lift 100 pounds 10 times is your measure for that. Now if you're able to take that same weight and do 12 or 15 or 20 reps, then you have increased your stamina because you're generating that force more times. Now what is endurance? Endurance is being able to sustain the activity, the entire activity, which usually is not a resistance related activity, for a duration of time, meaning like how long you can go basically. So as an example of like how much strength you can generate, that's what you see when people do like a single lift of the bench press, or a single lift of a deadlift or a squat or something, a 1 rep max for those of you who are more familiar. Stamina is how many reps you can get. Like when you start first like repping like a certain weight, any weight that you had like as a benchmark for yourself, and then you first start with 6 reps, then you start with that 6 reps and you add on it 2 reps more, 3 reps more, until you all of a sudden you wake up one day and like the same weight that you were struggle to lift it even once, now you're getting 15 or 20 reps with. That's an increase in your stamina. Now endurance is something like, how long you can keep running, duration or distance, how long you can keep swimming, laps again, or just duration, how long you can keep doing that activity. And with endurance also, like a good indicator of endurance is like how well preserved are your energy levels after doing that activity. If you, let's say, jog for 30 minutes and you're completely dead, your stamina is less, your endurance is less than somebody who may be able to jog that same distance in that 30 minutes and not feel as fatigued. Whereas, those two things are comparable. They do not necessarily carry over to stamina. You take the same 2 guys that were running, and we did that run experiment, and who was like more tired after the jog, and you take them into the gym and you give them the same weight and you have them do the same reps. Whoever was able to get more reps isn't necessarily the same person who was able to run longer or run with more ease. Same story. Strength and stamina, yes, they're both related to lifting a certain amount of weight, but you may be able to generate that force, meaning lift 200 or 300 or 400 pounds, but not be able to generate as much stamina to sustain it, meaning you could see 2 guys, one of them will be able to lift 300 pounds for 2 reps, and then you'll see another person that can also lift 300 pounds, but they can do 12 reps. The strength is on a similar level, but the stamina is very different. Alright? So this brings me to, after we've defined each one of those things and we've made the distinctions on where they overlap and where they don't overlap, here's what I want you to guys to focus on. As far as changing the shape of your body composition, it really does not depend on one or the other. It's usually a combination of all three, but um, to put it in more fitness-friendly terms, resistance training is tied with both strength and stamina. And a lot of people make the mistake of only focusing on strength, only focusing on the numbers of how much they can lift, but they forget to focus on the number of how much they can do, the stamina. You want to bring the stamina up as well as the strength, and I would say stamina is a higher priority than strength, because you want that time under tension. That's what's going to help your muscles grow. And pushing the numbers on lifts a little too soon may put you prone to injury, which we don't want. So obviously the principle of progressive overload still applies to both principles. You want to push the strength and keep increasing your strength and keep adding a little bit more weight. And you also want to be able to get more reps, do more sets, do more volume in the entire workout. That's an improvement in your stamina. Now, those two things are, what's gonna do the most change to your muscle. Now, endurance is where the realm of cardiovascular activity is, and for that you have the low intensity steady state, which does work for burning body fat, but it's too time consuming. My recommendation is higher intensity interval training. Saves you time, and it also allows you to infuse a little bit of stamina with a little bit of endurance, so you're well-rounded as an athlete and your fitness level will improve on all ends. So that was it for me for you guys today. I hope you learned something, and until the next video, stay well, stay strong, stay smart.